They never saw him for what he was, not a child, a crown, not a boy, a bloodline waiting to wake. He didn't grow like others. He endured. He survived the kind of silence that only buries kings before they rise. He wasn't loud. He didn't beg. But the ground beneath him knew something ancient had returned. He walked with his head low, not out of shame, but strategy. They mocked his stillness. They mistook his patience for weakness. But kings don't chase thrones. They wait until the room forgets who holds the real power. And when they speak, the world doesn't argue, it kneels.
I was born different, not broken, just loud in a world that worships quiet boys. They told me to sit down, to shrink, to tame the storm in my chest. But they didn't know the storm was royal. The fire wasn't rage, it was heritage. Every time I stood too tall, they cut me down. Not because I was wrong, because I reminded them of everything they were afraid to be. I laughed too loud, fought too hard, felt too deep, so they punished me for being too much. They didn't want a king. They wanted a puppet with soft eyes and a muted roar. So I gave them silence, but not surrender. I let them think they won, because even a lion knows when to play dead. They didn't exile me with force. They exiled me with smiles, with half-truths and whispered warnings, with applause that echoed too empty, with love that vanished the second I stopped obeying. The ones closest to me cut the deepest, not with blades, with absence. I reached out and found no hands, only space, only shadows where loyalty used to live. I gave them everything, my strength, my softness, my name, and they gave me silence. They turned their backs before the crown could rise, not because I failed, because I frightened them. People don't betray you when you're weak. They betray you when they see what you're becoming. I let the old me die, not in fire, in cold. The kind of cold that settles in the bones when you finally stop begging to be seen. They didn't kill him. I did. Because he still hoped, still waited for apologies that would never come, still believed loyalty meant something. But I've seen the truth now. This world doesn't reward the honest. It crowns the ruthless. I stopped reaching, stopped softening, stopped smiling to keep peace. Peace is a lie sold to those who've never ruled anything. I don't want understanding, I want order. I want the silence that comes when even your enemies lower their eyes. I buried my empathy next to my innocence, and over that grave, I built a throne, not made of gold, made of scars. I didn't rise, I was the rise. The moment I stopped explaining, the ground beneath me remembered. This isn't a man, this is a shift in gravity. I was never chasing a throne, I was the throne. They thought I needed a crown, I didn't. I needed memory. I needed silence long enough to remember what I am. Not built by hands, not blessed by bloodlines. Born from resistance, forged in exile. I am the result of a system that tried to clip wings and created a storm instead. I don't need followers. I don't need believers. I need nothing. Because now, when I enter a room, the air tilts, and when I speak, the silence kneels. This isn't arrogance, it's reclamation. They took everything. I became everything. I walked back into the world they built without me, and they looked, not out of love, out of instinct, like prey when it senses something ancient approaching. They didn't recognize my face, but their bones did, because power doesn't need an introduction. It carries its own gravity. They whispered my name like it was a warning. And they were right. I wasn't here for revenge. Revenge is emotional. I came back for equilibrium, for balance written in silence and delivered in presence. Every place they laughed at me now falls quiet when I pass. Every voice that once shouted over mine now trembles at my calm, because I didn't return for acceptance. I returned so they could understand. You don't crown kings, you survive them. They still look for the crown, as if power needs metal, as if legacy can be worn. I don't sit on a throne. I am the throne. Every step I take rewrites rules they once swore were unbreakable. They say I walk differently now. It's not the walk, it's the weight, the knowledge that I bowed to no one, not even the pain, that I bled without begging, rose without witnesses, reigned without needing their eyes. They talk of kings like they're chosen. I wasn't chosen. I was ignored. And that was their first mistake. Because a king without validation is a king without limits. They wanted to bury me in doubt. Instead, they buried themselves in regret.
They tried to erase him, tried to silence the roar before it could grow teeth. They mocked the boy, feared the man, but they never saw the king being carved in silence. He didn't beg for a throne. He became one, not to be worshipped, to be remembered. And now, they speak his name carefully, like it might wake something. They flinch at his calm. They pray he keeps walking, because even now they don't understand. He never needed their crown. He was the kingdom. The boy they broke, rewrote his bloodline in fire, and the king they feared, he never left. He was watching, and now he walks with no chains, no mercy, no need. He doesn't ask. He is.